Hi, my name is Avery, and I'm now familiar with the 6 basic concepts that serve as the framework for ethical behavior and decision making, according to the ACA Code of Ethics 2014, after reading the whole text of Daniel's 2020 Counseling Principles and Christian Beliefs. 2020. The virtue of non-maleficence is a professional value from the ACA Code of Ethics 2014 that is in harmony with my personal and spiritual beliefs, but that was not in harmony until I read Daniel's 2020 text. According to the ACA Code of Ethics 2014, non-maleficence is defined as, quote, avoiding actions that cause harm, end quote. This professional value encourages the counselor to accept responsibility for acting competently and in their client's best interests, as well as to always use their authority as a counselor for their clients, Daniel 2020. As a Christian, I strive to live in the light, as Paul says in Ephesians 5:1 in the New Living Translation. Quote, imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are his dear children, end quote. God's non-maleficence stems from the, quote, depth of his love for us, end quote, and he utilizes his power for our good, Daniel 20:20, in the same way that a faithful, loving counselor would. This is shown in the Bible by the account of Adam and Eve, who openly defied God, Daniel 20:20. Instead of criticizing and condemning them, God is patient with them and shows his loving kindness and pity by not imposing the death penalty which they have properly deserved, in Genesis 2:16-17 and Daniel 20:20. Both the professional value of non-maleficence and my Christian beliefs compel me to utilize my authority in a way that does not damage my client, Daniel 20:20. And as Nguyen 1993 put it, I must choose to relinquish power for love over and over. When I discovered the importance of God's love over everything, the value of non-maleficence and my spiritual views as a Christian fell into harmony. Growing up in a Christian home, I was taught that homosexuality is a sin that goes against God's will, and I was uncomfortable with the prospect of having to advise someone about their same-sex relationship. However, after reading Daniel's 2020 text, I was encouraged to adopt a fresh viewpoint in my duty as a Christ follower, to love others as God loves us, and to let God take care of the rest. I learned that it is not our responsibility as Christians to condemn people or their misdeeds, and that the only work God expects of us is to love others or to do no harm, as non-maleficence is defined. When applying this to my role as a professional counselor, I have learned to, quote, bracket or set aside personal values that are not in line with the legitimate counseling goals of the client, end quote, American Counseling Association 2014. Quote, to love my client well means I put that love into action to help my client within their systems and communities. This is the heart of the meaning of beneficence, end quote, Daniel 2020. The virtue of beneficence continues to collide with my own values in the sense that the prospect of advising someone from a different culture intimidates me and forces me out of my comfort zone. I believe that most of this is due to my lack of understanding about cultures other than my own, and I would not want to upset someone simply because I do not know enough about their culture. Even though it would be an unintentional violation of the value of beneficence for me to counsel someone from a different culture with little to no knowledge, the fact of the matter is that I would not be doing good for the client, which raises serious ethical concerns and may jeopardize my professionalism as a counselor. In order to work through this value conflict and to become comfortable counseling people from different cultures, I must put myself in other people's shoes and try to understand their way of life, beliefs, values, and morals, and how their culture has shaped who they are as an individual. For example, I could research more on multicultural counseling and read up about the different demographics in my area to get a better understanding of different backgrounds of clients that I must face. In addition to doing research, I could also advocate on behalf of the multicultural differences in counseling client relationships to promote good for this population. Thank you.